Hey guys, welcome to LegendXstudio. We have a new team to use and I'm very excited to show it to you. So this week we're planning on using Cinccino. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name. I am not exactly sure how to pronounce it. Some people pronounce it differently. I'm just going to call it Cinccino. Anyways, so Cinccino, face the wrath of Skill Link. It's a very scary Pokemon to fight. So I've kind of changed the format of my slides a little. I put the base stats of the Pokemon at the top right below the Pokemon's name so you guys can look at the base stats and get familiar with the kind of stats this Pokemon have. So Cinccino was actually recommended by one of my friends to use, and I thought it'd be a great idea to try and use him since Cinccino's not a very commonly used Pokemon, but it does have a decent moveset, especially with the ability Skill Link, which makes it so it can use Rock Blast and Bullet Seed to its fullest potential. If you guys don't know, Skill Link actually makes it so moves that hit multiple times will hit their maximum amount of times. So for Rock Blast will hit 5 times every time. And so another great strategy with Cinccino I've seen is it holding King's Rock. So basically, King's Rock makes it so you have a percentage chance of flinching the opponent's Pokemon every time it hits. And since Rock Blast and Bullet Seed hit the opponent's Pokemon multiple times, it makes it have a greater percentage of flinching your opponent's Pokemon, which I think it's like 43% or 47. I'm gonna have to check that up. It's online. Anyways, also Cinccino also gets the move Encore, which is cool because if you guys look up there on the top of the screen, it has a base speed of 115, which is really fast. It outspeeds a lot of Pokemon here, such as Kangaskhan and Terrakion and other commonly used Pokemon. So why use Cinccino? Because it has Skill Link, which is awesome. It's also a really fast Pokemon, so it can be used for supporting. It does have availability to support moves if I want to try that later. He can also get a decent amount of damage off and be kind of annoying. I've done some practice with Cinccino. If it hits a Pokemon super effectively, it will do a lot of damage. However, if it doesn't hit it super effectively, it doesn't do too much damage. So that's kind of the downside of using it. But, you know, we'll make it work because that's the point of the series. So Cinccino only has one weakness and one resistance since it is a normal type Pokemon. It's weak to fighting and resists Ghost. So this is what the overall team looks like so far because we only have one Pokemon. So I want to cover that fighting weakness and I can use its resistance to Ghost for the next Pokemon I choose. So the next Pokemon I thought would be cool to use is Togekiss. So Togekiss and Cinccino work well together because Togekiss has Follow Me, so it's a good support Pokemon, and Togekiss is also a Fairy type and flying, so that means it's 4 times resistant to fighting moves, which Cinccino is weak to. Togekiss is also great for speed control because it gets the access to Tailwind. We've used it in a previous battle. We've used it in a previous team. I think it was Mega Metacham. And it does pretty good. It also does a decent amount of damage. You guys look up there, it has a base 120 special attack, and that's really good. Togekiss has 5 weaknesses and 6 resistances, so the resistances are great. Weaknesses, you know, could have less, but oh well. So this is what the team looks like after we add Togekiss on. I have an open weakness to Ice, Poison, and Steel, so I want to be covering those up. And so the next Pokemon I choose is Lucario Mega. So I want to have a Mega in the team. And one cool thing I noticed about Lucario is he does pretty good against a lot of the commonly used Pokemon such as Sylveon, Kangaskhan, and Heatran. So on the left side at the top you can see its base stats before Mega Evolving and then its base stats after Mega Evolving. After Mega Evolving it becomes a really fast Pokemon and has really high attack and special attack. So Mega Lucario is known for its ability Adaptability, which makes stab moves times 2 damage instead of just stab, which is 1.5. So it does a lot of damage. So for example, if I hit a Kangaskhan with Aura Sphere, instead of doing times 2 damage, it does times 4. Now that's a lot of damage and will most likely kill that Kangaskhan. So he does really good against the meta. Since he's a steel type, he can switch into a lot of Pokemon. However, with the low defenses, I'm not sure if I want him to switch, but you know, he can switch if needed. He also pairs well with Togekiss because Lucario is another Pokemon weak to fighting. So if Lucario can get support from Togekiss with Follow Me, that means it can't be hit with fighting moves, which is great. He's also weak to ground, so pairing it with Togekiss is a really good option since Togekiss is flying and won't be affected by ground moves. So this is what the team looks like after we add Mega Lucario on. So I am covering pretty much all my weaknesses now, and the only weakness I have left now is Fire. So I want to choose a Pokemon to do that. I was trying to be a little unconventional with this team and not use too much common stuff because I want to show you guys how to use unusual Pokemon, and a lot of the unusual Pokemon that aren't used are pretty good, it's just they're not used. So a cool Pokemon I thought might be good to use is Dragonite. So Dragonite adds another fighting resistance to my team. He also has the ability Inner Focus, which makes it so he can't be flinched. So Kangaskhan, Landorus is a common lead. And so they're both known for flinching because Landorus likes to spam Rock Slide, which has a flinch percentage, and then Kangaskhan likes to do Fake Out. So by giving Dragonite Inner Focus, I am not affected by the Fake Out or Rock Slide flinch chance. And also, Dragonite's pretty bulky if you look above. He has really high HP and defense. And he also gets the option of using Ice Punch, which can do a lot of damage to Landorus if we can get it off. So Dragonite's kind of my counter to Landorus. I think it'd be kind of fun to run Dragonite with an with Weakness Policy, because you hit it with a Rock Slide, even though it has a reduced attack from Landorus's Intimidate, it will get an attack boost now because of the Weakness Policy. And like I said earlier, he's fairly bulky, and look at that attack, it's like really high. Not a lot of Pokemon have the attack that high unless they're like Mega or something. So Dragonite does have a few weaknesses that aren't the greatest, but he does add a lot of resistances to my team. So now this is what the team looks like after I add Dragonite on. I'm building up fairly good resistance. I resist almost everything now. I need to get a resistance to Fairy now since Dragonite added on to a Fairy weakness. So another great Pokemon, even though he's kind of commonly used, is Rotom Heat. I had another Pokemon in here, and I was testing the team earlier to make sure it worked well because I wasn't sure what to do with Cinccino. However, the other Pokemon I had in here wasn't doing quite well, so I added Rotom Heat because Rotom Heat just does a great job overall. So he resists many weaknesses. He has 9 resistances, which is great, and only 2 weaknesses. He can also pair Thunder Wave with Cinccino, so Rotom Heat can do Thunder Wave on a Pokemon, and then Cinccino can do Rock Blast or Bullet Seed, and that gives me a really high chance of flinching my opponent. Also, another reason for using Rotom Heat is, I mean, come on, who doesn't want to have an oven on their team? Just fry everything. Alright, so this is what the team looks like after I add Rotom Heat on. I'm covering all my weaknesses fairly good. Adding Rotom Heat on, I added another Rock weakness, so I now have 2 Rock weaknesses and only one resistance. So the next Pokemon I chose to add on to the team is something that I thought would be good. I would want it to counter the meta since this team is a little more unconventional and uses some odd stuff. So a really good Pokemon for countering the meta is Jellicent. So Jellicent is great for dealing with common Pokemon like Kangaskhan and Heatran because Kangaskhan and Heatran can't really affect it. They don't have too many options. Kangaskhan can always go for a Sucker Punch. However, Jellicent gets Will-O-Wisp. Heatran can always go for Earth Power or something. However, Jellicent can Scald it and usually take out Heatran before Heatran can take out Jellicent. Jellicent's also great for dealing with Landorus because Jellicent has Will-O-Wisp and usually survives about 2 or 3 attacks from Landorus, which is great. Jellicent does have 4 weaknesses and it has 8 resistances, which is really good. So this is what the team looks like afterwards. I didn't cover my rock weakness too well, so that may turn out to be an issue for me when I'm showing you guys how to use this team. we're just gonna have to find out and make adjustments as we go, because that's the basis of making teams. Alright, now we're gonna go over the movesets and EV spreads. So Cinccino has the item King's Rock ability skill link with the moves Bullet Seed, Rock Blast, Encore, and Protect. I gave it 252 in speed and attack with 4 in HP, and gave it a jolly nature so it can outspeed a lot of the faster Pokemon while getting the damage off. Cinccino has Encore because I wanted to throw off my opponent when they do something, and usually people aren't going to expect Encore from Cinccino since it's so uncommon and unusual. Next we have Togekiss. Togekiss has the item Citrus Berry. Its ability is Serene Grace with the moves Air Slash, Dazzling Gleam, Follow Me, and Tailwind, so kind of a general Togekiss. And then it has the Bold Nature to increase its defense, 252 in HP, and 252 in special attack, so trying to give it a lot of bulk while at the same time giving it some special attack so it can attack back, because it can be a very offensive Pokemon. Next we have Mega Lucario. So Mega Lucario is obviously holding its Mega Stone. Its ability prior to Mega Evolving will be Inner Focus, so if you fake out Lucario, it's not going to flinch. So Lucario is going to have the moves Aura Sphere, Flash Cannon, and Feints. Also Protect. The reason I wanted Feint was so I could break through Protects and just take out the opponent right away. One cool thing to do with Lucario would be pair it with Cinccino. So if my opponent wants to preserve a Pokemon, I just do Feint to break the Protect if they're going to Protect, and then have Cinccino go in there and just wipe out the opponent. So Lucario is going to have a Timid Nature because it's a special attacker with 252 in speed, 252 special attack, and 4 in HP. Alright, so Dragonite, the dragon of all dragons. So it has the item Weakness Policy, ability Inner Focus. Its moveset will be Dragon Claw, Ice Punch, Earthquake, and Protect. I'm not too sure I like this moveset, but it has pretty good coverage, so we're just gonna have to find out. This Dragonite, I wanted it to be Adamant. I gave it 52 speed, so it can outspeed a Cresselia that only has 4 speed investment. And then I gave it 204 at HP and 252 in attack, just to get off the most amount of damage from its attack stat. Okay, next we have Rotom Heat. So this Rotom Heat, I gave it safety goggles because I don't have a very good answer to Spore, and I really hate Spore, so I just gave Rotom Heat safety goggles to deal with that. Rotom Heat has the move Thunderbolt, Overheat, Protect, and Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave to pair it with Cinccino and get that kind of Parahax going off. It has the Nature Bold to increase its defense because it's probably going to get Rock Slided a lot and hit by physical moves, and I don't want it going down too fast. I give it 252 in HP, 132 in defense, and 124 in special defense, kind of splitting the 252 between the defenses. I think it may be better if I change it to special attack in the future, but I wanted to try a more defensive Rotom Heat this time around to see how it works. Next we have Jellicent. So Jellicent is going to have the item Leftovers. The ability should be Water Absorb, but it's not. So, oh well. Anyways, it's going to have the moves Scald, Ice Beam, Trick Room, and Will-O-Wisp. I am going to change its ability to Water Absorb later. No, I mean, I'm going to change its ability to Curse Body. So, if the opponent hits me, they have a chance of losing that move because of Curse Body. Anyways, Jellicent is having a Modest Nature to give it the most offensive pressure because if you look down below, it doesn't have the high special attack. I'm giving it 252 in HP, 4 in defense, and 252 in special attack. Alright, so possible leads for the team. So like I said earlier, Lucario and Cinccino could be a very good lead because of how fast they are and being able to get off a lot of damage quickly. Togekiss and Cinccino is a good lead because Togekiss can do Follow Me or just regular damaging move, while Cinccino just gets off a lot of damage before it faints. Togekiss and Lucario also a great combo because they don't share the same weakness, and Togekiss can do Follow Me to draw away dangerous moves from Lucario. Okay, next we have Dragonite and Togekiss. So the initial idea behind this was being able to set up Tailwind and then just do a lot of damage. Then we also have Cinccino and Rotom Heat as the pair for the para hacks with the Bullet Seed or Rock Blast with the King's Rock to try and get the opponent to flinch, plus the Thunder Wave from Rotom Heat. Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. I look forward to testing this video out and showing you guys how this team's going to work. I'm super excited to see how well we can do with it. Tune into my next video, day 1 of making it work, Cinccino. I'll see you guys later.